Hey you guys, it's Jessica. Oh my god, why did I do a little wave? Hello, it's me. This is how we do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hey you guys, it's just me. Being a dumb bitch. Ooh. Hey you guys, it's Jessica and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a very different video. I'm going to be giving you guys a personal life update. I don't normally like talking about my personal life to anybody other than my family and my friends. So this is going to be interesting for me, so bear with me through this video. So I'm gonna start at the beginning of quarantine because I feel like that's when my life took a very dramatic change. So rewind to end of February, beginning of March. For most of you who know me, you know that I was in a serious relationship for 3.5 years. And we were engaged for a year. We got engaged in May of 2019, and our wedding day was actually June 20th, 2020. We are no longer together. For those of you who reached out and asked me during quarantine, this is kind of my way of just being like, hey, here's your answer. He decided in the beginning of March that he was gonna end the relationship. He decided to He basically just kind of left. It was a total shock to me. I had no idea that it was going to happen. I did not see it coming at all. I was devastated. I was super upset. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know how I was going to move forward. I was a wreck. I did stay at my apartment for about a week and a half, and I was like, okay, you know, maybe he's going to change his mind. Maybe, you know, this is just like cold feet. So I stayed here and had hope that things were going to change. And then I realized, okay, this is kind of how it's going. So my family decided to come to my apartment and packed my clothes, anything that I felt I would need. And I decided that I was gonna work from home but at my parents' house. So I spent March to the end of May with my family. I needed the support from my family and my friends back home. So I spent a couple months at home, basically just kind of finding myself, finding what makes me happy, and honestly just knowing my self-worth. I feel like that situation completely broke me. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to pick myself back up, but being at home during quarantine helped me so much. I never thought I would be thankful for quarantine, but I was able to work out, I was able to bake, I was able to be with my dog, I was able to just literally do anything that made me happy. I did it. My friends came over. We social distanced, but they came over and we just talked, and everybody was super supportive during that time, and I honestly don't know what I would have done without my family and my close friends. So thank you so much to everybody who helped me get through that time. Words can never express how grateful I am for each and every one of you. And where I'm at right now, after months of just literally being on my own and figuring out what makes me happy, I am in such a great place. I am back in my apartment by myself. I do literally whatever makes me happy. I go and do it. If I want to travel somewhere, I get in my car and I go on little road trips. If I want to hang out with my friends, I go do it. And honestly, I'm just super, super happy. I'm in a great place. So for those of you, again, who reached out during quarantine to ask how I was doing, thank you so much. I am doing great. Yes, it was a rocky beginning and I didn't know how I was going to move forward. But if I could give any piece of advice to a female going through a breakup, or if you were engaged and it ended for whatever reason, it is not the end of the world. You will pick yourself back up and you will find your happiness again. Whether that's on your own or on your own for a little bit and then you meet somebody else, you will find that happiness. So the grass can be greener on the other side. I really wish that I was able to talk about the situation more. At this point in time, I can't. There's a lot going on that I'm unable to elaborate on that situation. Yeah. My MRI/brain update. So this one is a little longer too. It's going to be ongoing for a long time, but the best way I can explain it in December 2018, I went for my first MRI. My doctor and I had been talking about it for a while because I had ocular migraines, and I would get an aura in my eye, and then all of a sudden it just felt like I lost my vision. I couldn't really see anything. I'd be able to hear and talk, walk, do everything normal, but I would just not be able to see. Since it had gotten worse over the past few months, he was going to send me for an MRI just to make sure that ocular migraines was what we were dealing with. So I was like, no problem, I will go, even though I hate small machines. I arrive at the hospital. Y'all, the MRI machine is no joke. If you are claustrophobic, it is super, super rough. If you have to get an MRI for your brain, your body has to go fully in there. So you lay down in your gown, and then you get this like thing over your head, and you get little earmuffs, and then they shove you on in. The first time I did it, I literally pulled the emergency button right away. I was like, I cannot do this. And the nurse was like, no, you're okay, like you're gonna be fine. This is actually the bigger machine. There's a smaller machine. I don't know who goes in the smaller machine, toddlers, I'm sure, but apparently I could have went in it, and I was like, absolutely not, I could not go in a smaller machine. Anyways, literally 2 days later, my doctor called me and said, hey, you need to come in for an appointment. We need to talk about your MRI results. So I went in on my own, and he said that I have a penile cyst at the very top and calcification along the back. So he set me up with a neurologist to just kind of like talk about what that meant. So I went to the hospital and met up with my neurologist. I brought my mom with me because honestly, like sometimes I just get so nervous, and she just is able to absorb it sometimes better than I can when I'm nervous. So she came with me, and we discussed what that looks like, what medication I would be on, and what kind of the future looks like. So I am able to get a CT if I choose, but the radiation in the CT is just way too much for me at this age, so my doctor and my neurologist has highly recommended not to do it. So what I do for now is I go in an MRI machine every 6 months typically, and some I will have just a regular MRI, and some I will have with the dye. So the dye, they just inject into you, and it tastes like metal right away. It's the weirdest thing ever. And then they're able to see like your brain activity, and it just gives them like a clearer picture of what's kind of going on up there. So I just had my most recent one 2 weeks ago. I can't even, the experience was so different during COVID. The hospital was absolutely dead. There was no one in there. I literally walked in, they were like, okay, what are you here for? I have an MRI at 8:15. And they were like, no problem, what's your name? Gave them my name, they did the screening questions. And then I walked down the hall to the MRI area. There was literally just me and somebody on the other side of the room, and other than that, the hospital was completely empty. I literally asked the security guard, I was like, is it like this every day? And she was like, yeah, nobody wants to come to the hospital. So if you do have appointments at the hospital and you're afraid, do not be afraid right now, because nobody wants to be there apparently. I got my results the next day. They're super fast, and I am stable and nothing has changed. So my cyst is the same size, my calcification is still there. And yeah, so basically they're just gonna continue to monitor me and see if anything grows or if I get any more cysts, and just kind of monitor the calcification along the back. But I will continue to have migraines probably for a very long time. I don't even know if they will go away, but I am on medication for them. So if I ever see that aura in my eye, I just take my medication, and if I catch it in time, it will just go away. And if not, then I just have to monitor it, and if I have to go lay in a dark room, then that's kind of just what I have to do. But yeah, again, I'll probably talk about this more in the future because it's an ongoing thing, and I will be going for MRIs every 6 months. I probably will put a video or two in here of how dead the hospital was so you guys can see kind of like what I went through. So yeah, that's how the hospital went. What else? Honestly, there's not much of an update. I worked from home for almost 3 months. Now I'm back in the office full time. It's been so fun coming back. Like, that's so weird to say, but we kind of have like a quarantine squad at work, and we watch TV shows together during the week. We'll meet up in like a lounge and we'll just like watch TV together. We went to Blue Mountain together. So my last video, that is the quarantine squad. So we went to Blue Mountain and we stayed there for 2 nights in like a 3-bedroom condo, and it was so fun. We drank, we played drinking games, spoons got out of hand, friendships were broken. But yeah, so we road trip there, and then the following week after that, I headed up to Elliott Lake and Tobermory and did some kayaking, did some swimming in the lake, and basically like just trying to live up summer the best I can during COVID. I can't wait until this is all over so I can travel. I'm definitely going on some trips. They're already kind of planned out. I'm hoping to go to California when this is done, so stay tuned for maybe a vlog. I think that's it for now. Oh! A lot of people have asked if I'm ever going to come out of retirement for cheerleading. I did all-star cheerleading for 14 years. I retired at 20. And that was the perfect age to leave because my back felt broken. I started to get my migraines at that point, and it was just like, it was time to go. It was time to leave. One of my teammates had passed within that year, so I was like, you know what, we're gonna call it quits. I do really enjoy the stunting aspect of it. I miss that every single day. For those of you who don't know me, I was a flyer, and I was also on a co-ed team, so I did co-ed stunting. And recently, one of my old teammates and I got together and we just kind of threw some stunts in the air just to see if we could still do them and come out of retirement. We were successful, nobody got dropped, and it was actually a really good time. So I think we're gonna continue to meet up and just stunt here and there because we both really enjoy it. So I am avoiding tumbling like the plague. I will never do that again. I will never jump again. So no, I will not be returning to all-star cheerleading anytime soon. Who knows? Maybe one day I will join like a non-competitive team that just like chills. Or if there's a co-ed team that wants to compete once a year in Mexico and just train for that one competition, I would do that. So stay tuned, but I'm not going back to full force all-star. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button below and give this video a like. Bye-bye. See you later.